Warsaw officials report roughly 300,000 Ukrainians have settled in the Polish city since the Russian invasion began.
Around 15,000 of those refugees have joined educational institutions there.
Under a new program, 200 Ukrainian teachers will soon be employed in classrooms across the city. They will work as teaching assistants to help Ukrainian children adapt to the educational system of Poland. Other refugees are continuing their education remotely. So joining us now from Poland is Randi Weingarten. She is the president of the American Federation of Teachers. Randi, it's great to have you with us. Can you explain in what capacity you travel to Poland? What are you doing there? Are you helping the teachers set up some kind of educational system?
Well, first off, we have a long relationship with the Polish unions. You see, I'm in a car. I'm just going back to Warsaw from the border, where we met with humanitarian agencies and with the mayor and some teachers in one of the border towns. But we are working at the invitation of the ZPN, the Polish union. We've been visiting schools. We've been working to see what we can do as Americans to help Ukrainian teachers, Ukrainian refugees, Ukrainian students, and the Polish educators and Polish communities to help deal with this humanitarian crisis and this democracy crisis. And it's something that we as our union have done for years, from helping Solidarność, a union that started in Poland, to now to try to create both freedom and public education. So that's why I'm here at the invitation of the Polish Union. And we've had a whirlwind several days. But, you know, there are Ukrainian teachers that are helping Ukrainian students. There are Polish teachers who have been incredible doing the work they're doing to try to calm the nerves and the fears of Ukrainian students. There's lots of acculturation that's going on. And it's pretty incredible to watch at this moment of deep terror. One of the kids yesterday said to me, "Did you hear what happened in Bucha?" A Ukrainian kid, and just with a terror in her face at the atrocities that happened to her, to people in Ukraine. But that's what, people do for each other. And this is the best of who people are, helping each other in a moment of deep darkness, to try to have a better life and to try to be free from the fear and the fighting. There's lots of issues, though, in terms of just the Polish system is different than the Ukrainian system. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to end the rest of the school year in remote education, and we're trying to figure out how to help that with that. And we have to help these children have a safe and welcoming environment after, everything has been dislodged from them.
Randi, you touched on the differences between the school systems. There's also a language barrier. How are students who do not speak Polish, how are they adapting, and what are Polish officials doing to navigate those language barriers?
So one of the things that people are doing is, we've learned a lot about how to do dual language coursework. We do it in America, in many of the schools in America. We've learned, the Polish education system has learned how to do things, frankly, since the Syrian refugee crisis. And so, you try to do some of that work in a bilingual way. You do lots of work by pointing to things. We brought books, for example, that have lots and lots of pictures with them, as opposed to words. But you have to first build up the trust and agency between people and create a safe and welcoming environment together. What's amazing, frankly, is that a lot of Ukrainian kids know English. So in one of the classrooms I was with the Ukrainian high school kids, we were speaking in English.
Wow.
Randi Weingarten, thank you so much to you and your team for your work there in Poland.
Amazing work you're doing there.